Want to meet some interesting neighbors? Stay tuned for SADAQA coming up next.
Every day we witness signs in our lives of mankind's proudest accomplishments. And gathered in many locations throughout our city are some who see these signs and know, Allahu Akbar, God is greater. They are called Muslim, for those who submit to the will of God. And you are warmly invited to meet some of them as Bismi Rabic Foundation presents SADAQA with host Gerard Ibn Earl Bilal. Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to SADAQA, the program that gives you a view of Muslims that you seldom see anywhere else, unless you know some, or you are one. Today we have a very interesting program lined up for you. We have a young brother. He's 18 years old. He's a Hajj Tarik Al-Farooqi out of the Masjid Umar here in the city. We have Nikia Bilal. She's going to do the Islamic book review for children. Nuri Muhammad Simon of the Muslim Journal. He's a special correspondent now for Muslim Journal. He's doing the Muslim Journal report. And we have our first guest, Warren Qaasim. Warren Qaasim is with Renaissance Limousine Service here in Chicago. Yes. Warren, I've known you for a few years now, and I know that in that time you have always seemed to be in those long cars. Would you tell us a little bit about, first, your position there at the limousine service, and how long you've been involved in it?
First, I would like to take an opportunity to say, Brother Bilal, Gerard Bilal, that while thanks and praise are due to the Creator, whom we call Allah.
That's right.
Credit is to be given to you for your conscientious effort toward doing community-minded things and projects.
Well, this is a duty, brother.
Yeah, well, you're performing your duty, and you ought to be applauded. Yeah. The limousine service. I got into the limousine service quite by accident, actually. As I was telling one of your helpers, your associates here, the limousine business really was an accident for me. My inclination and leanings have always really been toward, well, somewhere between law and preaching. But the limousine business was really an accident. I found out a long time ago that you had to be, it was good to be in or around wealth, unfortunately, before people would pay attention to you.
Okay, you have to have some money.
But I wanted something. I was motivated by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Mm-hmm. I was more motivated by Imam Worthy Muhammad in Islam. But the real objective was to get into something where I could be self-sufficient, okay, provide for myself, and really establish something that would allow me to be an influence. Because again, my leanings were toward, I'm really somewhere between a preacher and a lawyer.
You said provide for yourself, and I know you mean to say you provide, for yourself and family, because you are a family man.
Of course.
I want to bring that point out.
I have 3 children, beautiful wife, supportive wife, 3 children. She's born me. I helped bring them onto the earth. I witnessed their birth, be real plain about it.
You know, Warren is a personification of, well, actually the answer of the question that gets asked frequently when people say, what happened to you Muslims with all those businesses, especially here in Chicago, with all the businesses, well, Cottage Grove. I know I've heard that question. What happened to the Muslims? Where are the Muslim businesses? And Brother Qaasim here is an example of a Muslim businessman who's not just been involved in the limousine business, but I know that you've done some concert promoting work a few years ago. I think it was Ahmed Jamal, that most people call Ahmad Jamal. Ahmed Jamal was brought into town here under the auspices of your organization. I know you as an entrepreneur who has had a very nice custom detail hand wash kind of operation there, along with the limousine service. So you're a modest brother, and alhamdulillah, that's good. That's a good trait.
You're very generous, Bilal. Yes, we've had a number of businesses that were primarily related to the limousine business. When we got in the limousine business, we needed something to, we needed a place to house our cars, keep them clean, and keep the repairs up. That turned out to be a failing business. I've learned a lot in my last few years of being in business. And yes, I've taken on an entrepreneurial spirit, taken a lot of chances. Okay, some that in retrospect I might not take if I were to do it again. But it's been a learning experience. And how we relate this back to al-Islam is important, I think. It's been pointed out to me that in the Islamic history, because we all are so enthusiastic about spreading our religion, that the religion spread quickly among the Muslim merchants.
Yes.
When the people began to do business with the Muslims, not for so much teaching and propagating and carrying the Quran and, you know.
Their exposure to people with high moral character in the natural order of business.
Exactly.
With that, Brother Warren, I'm going to ask you to come back at some
I
day.
want to thank you. I want to thank you for the opportunity.
It's been a mutual pleasure, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
It's time now for the Muslim Journal Report featuring Imam Nuri Muhammad Simon of Muslim Journal.
There's a controversy growing more every day surrounding AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, and the effects that this dreaded disease will have on the society of the United States as well as around the world. Health authorities inform us that AIDS, which is primarily spread through sexual contact, was first among the homosexual communities as well as the intravenous drug users. However, we have seen in the last few months that there are continual incidences of the disease showing up in the heterosexual community. As you know, there was a feeling that if a person was not a homosexual or not a drug user, that there was no fear of AIDS. This has changed. Then there was a feeling on those of us who are religious people that AIDS is a retribution for the sins of immoral people, and that we as religious people need not be concerned about this disease. While it is true that AIDS is in fact a retribution and can in fact be called a curse on wrongdoing in an immorally corrupt society, we cannot deny that AIDS will affect everyone in the society, whether we are a religious community or not. We cannot, as religious people living in the society, feel that AIDS is not our concern. It is the concern of everyone living in the community. The social, political, and economic effects, the moral effects of this dreaded disease in the next few years is something that we must pay attention to, and we must put our energy in trying to correct in the society. Thank you.
That was Imam Nuri Muhammad of the Muslim Journal on a very, very controversial topic now. AIDS is something that we're all concerned about.
And on a happier topic, we now join Imam Lionel Abdul-Haqq on the occasion of the Muslims' reoccurring happiness, the Eid al-Fitr celebration after Ramadan, the month of fasting.
Assalamu alaikum. We're here at the Eid celebration at the Armory, and we'd like to interview you and find out what are your opinions, your impressions of the Eid celebration. Your name again, brother?
My name is Farhan Khan. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Yes, what is your impressions of the Eid?
Eid means like end of Ramadan to me. Like it is like celebration We deserve it after 1 month of Ramadan.
Ramadan.
Yes.
Ramadan is the month of fasting.
Yes.
Okay. Sister Muakil,
Yes, sir.
how would you sum up today's activities?
It reminded me of Hajj.
Of Hajj.
Of Hajj. I could see the people at Arafat. I could see the people in Mecca, and my heart sang. I'm humbled to be present with all of these wonderful brothers and sisters, and I'm grateful to be here. I'm thankful to Allah for the Ramadan. It gives us a chance to renew, to begin again, and bring us back to our human selves, I'm grateful.
We're here with
Muhammad Farooqi, the editor of Amnesia News of Chicago. This is the gathering of celebration of the Eid Ul-Fitr of Muslims living in Chicago, and we are all gathering here. We are celebrating. This is a happy holiday for Muslims after 30 days of these fastings done by Muslims in Chicago. This is the blessings of God, blessings of Allah, and this is one of the 5 pillars of Islam prescribed by Prophet Muhammad and Allah Ta'ala. And we should get together. We should meet each other. We should give the gifts and exchange the gifts to each other. And there is no, we are all equal. We do not have any color, any kind of sex, any kind of discrimination at all. We are all brothers and sisters on earth. This is the great blessings from Allah.
Sister Umrana, would you tell us what you thought of the Eid? What is the Eid celebration, and what does it mean to you personally?
Well, it's like a religious, you fast the whole month. So the whole month you fast, and then at the end of the month you have a big celebration for all the people who fasted. You fast from sunrise to sunset each day.
Is it a difficult fast? Is it difficult for you?
When it's hot.
It's hot?
Yeah, otherwise it's pretty good. I can do it.
So what is the reward for this fast? I mean, what is the idea? Why do you do this? Why do you put yourself into this?
Because for me to ask God to forgive me for my sins.
This is the feast of breaking fast, and this is the feast of patience, achieving taqwa, which is the most important thing which has been prescribed as said in the Quran. The purpose of this month was to achieve taqwa, the piety, and that was the most important thing which we have achieved during this month by practicing the fasting and practicing the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the tawakkul and the sabr, the patience, and the love of Quran, and the love of people, and the love of humanity at large. This was the qualities which has been produced in ourselves in this whole month of Ramadan by providing us a training program to us. And this was, as I call it, a training program. It's a mandatory training program for all of us, with incentives and with all the blessings which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given in this month.
My name is Rashida Rana. This is a religious holiday. It's we have to keep fast for 30 days, and after 30 days, when we see the moon, first day, then we celebrate Eid. This is the Eid. God.
So this is the ending of the fast, and you break the fast with the prayer celebration?
Yes.
And the Muslims here from where? The people here from where?
From Pakistan, from India, all the Muslims, and from Arabia, every Muslim country.
From everywhere in the world, I imagine, huh?
Yeah, all over.
Thank you very much.
My name is Brother Alan Bia, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. People from all races and creeds all coming as one up under the banner of Al-Islam. I loved it.
And this is to celebrate the Eid. What does the Eid mean to you personally?
The Eid means a victory for one to be able to understand the suffering and pain all over the world, and to make a sacrifice, a conscious effort of fasting during the 30 days, and realizing how people are, who don't have anything at all, how they really actually feel.
Rafia Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Rafia.
Alaikum salam.
Would you give us your impressions of the Eid here at the celebration?
Well, after completing a very, Ramadan is a very serious but solemn and yet a joyous time of the year for Muslims, and it gives us a chance to reflect God's mercies and blessings, and it gives us a chance to ask for forgiveness during this month, to read our holy book to gain insight and inspiration to help us through the month. And the Eid celebration today is very uplifting because it brings the Muslim community in the Chicago area together. And it's always good to be in the company of Muslims. This is the time where everyone has gone through a hardship and fasting, and this marks the successful completion of that month. And because of that, it's very exciting, and it's very joyous. It's very inspirational.
Sister, you expressed that very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak. We have here Imam Abdul-Alim Bashir of the West Side Muslim Center on Pulaski 24 North Pulaski. I'd like to get your impressions, Brother Imam, of the Eid celebration we're having here.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Well, my beloved brother, it's beautiful, always beautiful when Muslims come together. And it's beautiful to see the conglomeration of Muslims from different cultures, different countries, different backgrounds, but it just points up the universality of al-Islam. So it's very beautiful. The spirit here is very high, and very beautiful. So I really enjoy it. I always enjoy it.
And what else? What other activities are planned for the rest of the day?
Well, for the rest of the day, I know on the west side we plan an Eid activity in the park on Roosevelt and First. I know the Muslims over on the south side are planning an Eid celebration at the Baha Center. And I imagine, I don't know, I haven't spoke to any of the immigrant Muslims, but I imagine they have some things planned also. So it's just a very festive occasion in this hellish environment in which we live.
Well, thank you very much, Brother Imam.
Alhamdulillah.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Kareem.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm very, very pleased to introduce our next guest. He is 18 years old and a Haji, Hajj Tarik Al-Farooqi, who is of Masajid Umar Incorporated. And here in the city, he is the president of Young People's Organization that operates out of that masjid. Assalamu alaikum, Tarik. It's really a pleasure to meet a young man such as yourself that has had the blessing, the opportunity and the blessing to have made the Hajj. And for those of you that aren't aware of the Hajj, it's the pilgrimage that is made to Mecca. I'd like to know, how old were you when you made the pilgrimage?
Yes, sir. Well, I made two Hajjs. I made my first Hajj when I was 6 with my father, Sheikh Muhammad Al-Farooqi. And my second pilgrimage to the Holy City was when I was 9.
9 years old?
Yes, sir.
Can you, it's been 9 years ago now, can you remember that experience? How did it touch you?
Well, you know, it was a tremendous part of my life. It plays a key role. And as far as my daily actions, it keeps me straight. And every time I get down, I just think back on that, and it brings me back up. It's the sight of the Kaaba, you know, just enlightens me.
The experience was one of being in a situation where Muslims from all over the world, I mean, we can say millions of people, were all there dressed in the same garment, 2 pieces of white cloth, right?
Right.
And how did that, I mean, how did you feel about that?
Well, by all those Muslims being there, it was just nothing but love, you know. You couldn't do nothing but feel love, you know,
Were they
surety.
Different colors and shades and hues?
Yes, sir. Many people, all races and types of people.
Well, Brother Tarik, I understand that you are involved in a youth program. In fact, you're president of a youth committee, is it, there
Yes,
at Masjid Umar?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about the work you're doing.
Well, okay, we have the community center which the Imam spoke of, and basically what operates out of the community center, you have karate class, tutoring programs, and a number of other things which are basically centered around Muslims but are open to everybody.
You know, I think it would be appropriate now, though, if you would give a telephone number or an address or so that if there are any young people in the audience who would like to get involved in that program, they'd know how to reach you.
The address to the center is 33 East 111th Place, and a number that you can call is 995-5557.
All right. Would you give that number again, Tarik?
995-5557.
And what are the hours there?
Well,
that someone would answer
9 to 10, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay. Brother Tarik Al-Farooqi.
It's been a pleasure.
Hajj Tarik Al-Farooqi. Well, the pleasure's been mine. And we want to thank you for joining us here on SADAQA. We hope you'll talk it up amongst your friends and associates. And inshallah, we'd like to have you and some of the other young people who are involved in the program there back on the program here. Now, Tarik, I'm going to ask you to bear with us and watch a very, very entertaining cultural presentation here on SADAQA. This is a brother named Wali Ali. He's played with the Temptations. He's on the Temptations' last two albums, Marvin Gaye and Aretha Franklin. But Allah has blessed him to be touched by this book and the work that he's doing today. I believe this is called Success. Wali Ali.
This particular song holds a special place in my heart. It's a song about a common man, and he keeps on trying to pursue his goal. And it's entitled Little Boy.
Strong example the little child needs. Won't you help him, won't you please help to guide him right? Crying, running through the streets, trying to hide himself from this awesome defeat. Yeah, he kicked his brother, knock him down in the street, yet he don't think he's won the fight. But then this little boy keeps coming around. He keeps on coming around. The little boy keeps coming around. And in his heart, I believe he wants to be found. Still he wants to be found. The little boy keeps coming around. He keeps on coming around. The little boy keeps coming around. And in his heart, I believe he wants to be found. Yeah. The little boy sees up, the little boy sees down. Nothing concrete can he find. The knowledge that's been given to him is a burden on his mind. And the Creator made us put his trust. The children are our care, the burden lies on us. Lost is the way for the children today, because the knowledge has been kept away. But yet this little boy, he keeps on coming around. He keeps on coming around and around and around and around. The little boy keeps, see, he just keeps right on coming around. And in his heart, I believe he wants to be found. Yeah. I say the little boy keeps coming around. He keeps on coming around. The little boy keeps coming around. And in his heart, I believe he wants to be found. Yeah. Said I wanna say again that the little boy keeps coming around. He keeps on coming around. The little boy keeps coming around. And in his heart, I believe he wants to be found. Now listen. And now, dear parents, why don't you and me wake on up to this reality? Come on, y'all, listen to our redeem, the clear voice for humanity. And the to this new light of truth that is found. The example he searched for is found, and with his faith in God, he could bring humanity around. Let me tell you about this little boy. All right, the child is not a toy. Listen to me, y'all. I said the truth we have to face. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yes, it is, y'all. Said I don't know about you, but this little boy has feelings too. Yes, he does. He can make the world new and make it better for me and you. Yes, you can. Give him a hand, help him out. Without a doubt, I said he'll help straighten the situation, yeah. We're talking about this little boy.
And that was Wali Ali. I erroneously told you that he was going to sing Success, and actually he sang Little Boy. And now it's time for our Islamic Children's Book Review, which is presented by Nikia Bilal. And her book today is Our Prophet, Muhammad Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum, Nikia.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And would you tell us a little bit about the book today?
Well, this book, they don't call them stories, but they call them lessons. And at the end of each lesson, they have questions about what you read about and words that you've learned. I'm going to tell you about one of the stories, one of the lessons in this book, which is called Rasulullah Passed Away in Medina. This is about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam becoming real sick and not being able to go and lead prayer. So he asked his friend Abu Bakr to lead prayer. A few weeks later, he got better enough to go back and lead prayer again. And the people were happy to see him. But after that, he was sick again. And they started praying for his health, but they knew only Allah knew what was going to happen, whether he was going to die or live. He told his wife Aisha that to give away all their money and their property to the poor. And he died saying that Allah